छैन संस्कृति घर जाओ छैन यहाँ जाओ जाओ जाओ
got the one stopping that.
We saw him pull out that pull shot earlier, Matt Cross. Just a little bit short again from Paul van Meekeren as Naveen, again, digs around in the big tarpaulin there and does well to get the ball back.
I think he's feeling, he doesn't think it's a fine summer's day either. He's got the hood pulled up. You're saying you've played against Naveen or with Naveen?
I've not played against Naveen.
Oh, in the same team. So
yeah, he played a summer with the same club as me in Edinburgh.
Oh, misfield, and they're going to run. That's pressure on the fielder. And it's actually Shariz Ahmed who is on as a sub fielder, so I'm not sure who's gone off. They really put the pressure on there. Nice energy in running between the wickets between these two as well. Good communication.
Yeah, it's something that Matt Cross brings, isn't it? That energy, that pace between the wickets.
Energy's a good word. You just feel that he's a bit of a jack in the box, isn't he, Matt Cross, in everything he does, whether he's keeping or batting. Well, that's called a no ball. So Van Meekeren cannot believe it. It does look like that is pretty high. So it's going to be a free hit. And George Monsey will love that. Here's a look from side on.
So the no ball was given before.
So the square leg umpire has given that no ball before. So has he overstepped?
Was it 3 behind square, maybe?
Well, no matter what it was for, George Monsey takes advantage. This is an outstanding innings from the Scotland opener.
It just belted down the ground. And that boundary brings up a couple of landmarks for George Monsey. It's his highest ODI score, moving past the 106 he made against the Netherlands earlier this year. And it also takes him past 5,000 runs for Scotland in all formats. He's been a quite brilliant servant.
Yeah, so that is for all capped games that George Monsey has now scored the 5,000 runs. It bounces well short of the fielder, 2 bounces in fact. Yes, so if you look on some of the sites, if you're looking on Cricinfo or CricBuzz, and you look at the list, well, it doesn't necessarily show all the capped games that Scotland players have played. The changes in the categorization of matches, but 5,000 across all formats. What a servant he has been for Scottish cricket.
Yeah, he's just a fabulous player, isn't he? I mean, we've seen the best of him today. The array of shots he's got, he scores all around the ground. And the tempo he's batted at has been what's most impressive. The way he's adjusted to the game situation, gone up and down the gears. You saw how destructive he can be when he took down Roelof van der Merwe. Just how strong he is off his legs, but then also just the composure and the experience to know when to just calm down a little bit and take the singles on offer. As Matt Cross picks out the man in the deep and is put down. Oh, and I think he thought he was gone there, Matt Cross. He forgot to run for a second.
Well, where's Barassi? It was out in the deep. And that is another chance, a third drop in this innings. Matt Cross gets a life. He'd given up on that one, thought he was gone. And George Monsey was already at the other end.
Cameron was celebrating. He couldn't believe it. He was down on his haunches. Goes in. I think it just pops out as Wesley Baresi hits the deck. It's another poor effort in the field from the Netherlands, who have been below par in that aspect today.
Well, third drop. No. Do you know what that is? Is it 3 fields behind the square? Can you find out what that is?
Oh,
Zach Lyon Cachet to continue. Matt Cross nudges his first ball at the over down the ground for 1. George Monsey heaves into the leg side. Just be 1.
Yeah.
So keep it up.
But yeah, it's been an aspect of their play today, the Netherlands, that they'll be really disappointed with. There's been 3 drop catches now.
And they really have proved to be costly. Well, in the meantime, Scotland march on. George Monsey could be setting himself up for a monster score here. He really could. They are set fair. Still 12.4 overs to go. Might they even be targeting 350, 360?
I mean, with the power that's to come.
Oh, that's a lovely shot. My goodness. He does look good today, Monsey. Everything he touches turns to gold. And that lofted drive straight down the ground. One of the best shots he's played today.
That might well be shot of the day from George Monsey. Inside out, over long off.
The square leg umpire called it before the ball, before he bowled the ball. No, before he called it.
Monsey looks to go again.
He's just got that range, hasn't he? You see him with the sweeps. You see he's got that pure power that he can just muscle it. So many options. And that's an expensive over from Lyon Cachet. And Scotland do march on. 38 gone, 235 for 4.
In the league cricket, it is wide, but in the second no ball, second bouncer, they're given as a no ball.
Because the square leg
Yeah,
umpire
that's why
signaled it before the ball bounced. That's why we were asking, because
Yeah,
you
but he
could
said
see
the
in
same.
the shot, he's like called it before, like a no ball.
We should ask the entire, like, after the innings.
Now, Van Meekeren should have had a wicket in his last over, that of Matt Cross. He was already celebrating and fell to the ground in agony afterwards. He's taken a bit of a beating today. Already past the 50 mark, bowling in his 8th over.
Just to go back to that, Monsey 6 down the ground. We've spoken about how heavily he scores through the leg side and his sweeps. And Matt Cross just swipes across the line and plays and misses at Paul Van Meekeren. But yeah, I think that shot down the ground and just how he held his shape and accessed the offside, it shows how good a player he is of traditional shots as well as the unorthodox. He's the full package. He's not limited to just those sweeps and drags to leg side that people might know him for.
And that's what makes this, well, one of the things that makes this just such a brilliant innings from him today because we've seen it all. He's accessed all parts of the ground. And that one's aerial, but bounces before it reaches Michael Levitt, running around towards deep backward square.
He's just been testing out Matt Cross with that shorter ball. He got a couple of pull shots away really nicely to the fence, but there's been a couple of top edges in there. Obviously, the drop catch as well. As we see here, just can't quite get on top of it, but it's enough that it doesn't reach the fielder.
Now, pulled firmly, but just for a single. Real opportunity for Monsey to make a statement innings today as well. As you mentioned, it's his highest ODI score. It's the third time he's crossed the century mark. And the way things are here now, unless Netherlands find some answers, this is a real opportunity for him. Matt Cross is playing his part in this partnership brilliantly too. Oh, and that was the first little bit of perhaps miscommunication between the pair. Monsey stepped back, and I think there might be a little apology there from Matt Cross as well.
Yeah, Monsey took his time to turn around and face his teammate there.
Well, it would have been, well, you can understand because Matt Cross was the one who calls him through, and then he's a little bit more agile in reversing than the big vehicle of George Monsey. There goes the pull shot again, and he's timed that beautifully. It's almost ended up in our commentary tent, and it's in the media apartments next door. Nicely worked by Matt Cross.
Yeah, just helped around the corner, as we see here. It's a little bit short from Paul van Meekeren, and lovely timing from Matt Cross. Bit of a fumble there from Pete Maximchek. But yeah, like you said, Matt Cross certainly playing his part in this partnership. He's played really well for his 39, put down on 31. But he'll fancy a big score as well with 11 overs to go. Scotland are 242 for 4.
And at the moment, oh, Netherlands just don't seem to have any answers. I'm hoping that Roelof van der Merwe might provide them. He took a real beating early on from Monsey, bowling from the nursery road end. And since then, since he's switched ends to the pavilion end, it's been much, much tidier from van der Merwe. But they need to find a way of stymieing this partnership, and they need to do it quickly, drag themselves back in the game, or else Scotland, you really wouldn't put it past them pushing that score up above 350. Oh, nicely picked up, but straight to the fielder.
Just in between balls there, Mel, I've had a bit of a shocker. Where the confectionery that's been put in front of us has melted somewhat in this lovely Dundee sun, and it broke apart as I went to eat it and has gone everywhere.
Yeah, you've done really well there.
I've managed to avoid my clothes just about, but yeah, there's this chocolate everywhere.
Oh dear, that's why I've resisted. They look after us wonderfully well here. We've had Elaine, the club president. She's brought us homemade soup when it's been cold. It's worked again. It's too easy. It's too easy for Scotland. They are bossing this. Singles easy to come by, rotating the strikes, still got the right hand, left hand combination as Monsey's been there all the way through. Now he pulls out the reverse and it's a top edge. It's going to fall safely though. And oh dear. Well, that pretty much sums up the kind of day it's been for the Netherlands. Van der Merwe, well, he got the top edge. We haven't seen Monsey play the reverse. And look at that. Well, just a bit of wicked bounce, perhaps. Aryan Butt out there. He's looking one way and another as if he can't quite believe what that ball has done.
That's the classic club cricket shout of watch the spin.
Goes for another swipe across the line, Monsey.
We've spoken a fair bit about the Dutch fielding being slightly below par today, and Roelof van der Merwe really let rip at Aryan Butt after that misfield. You can see how frustrated he is. The old warhorse.
I told you, be a terrible poker player.
And you hear him shout one out to the fielder there.
Yeah,
he's ticking, isn't he?
He is ticking. He really is. Wow, the frustration showing. And as I said, it's just been way too easy for them to just plug away at the singles, wait for the right time to attack. Oh, it's down the leg side. And you won't get the boundary. Favoured scoring area, but it's been another fairly expensive over for Netherlands. A good one for Scotland. 11 coming off it. And after 40 overs, Scotland 253 for 4. We did say the last 10 overs, if they start to push around 10 runs and over, well, they are looking at north of 350. And that will signal some warnings for Netherlands. They will need by far their best batting performance of this round of ICC Cricket World Cup League 2 matches at Fort Hill if they're going to have any chance.
Yeah, you could see in that previous over from Roelof van der Merwe, George Monsey was again really using his crease, looking to give himself that solid base from which to attack from. Didn't quite get the balls he was looking for, but it's that intent that's really coming through now. 10 overs to go. Scotland are going to go really hard at these, especially with the batting they've got to come.
Just Matt Cross quietly making his way into the 40s as well. It's been terrific, this partnership. It's clipped safely, and you know what? Clipped for 4. Matt Cross just picking his spot.
Yeah, didn't try to overhit it, did he, Matt Cross? Just used the pace on the ball, and like you said, Mel, picked the gap really well.
He turned it nicely, just saw the vacant territory, manufactured something to get the ball there. There's just no feel of jeopardy at the moment. This time punches to the offside, easy twos, boundary balls, lots of singles. This is a dominant performance with the bat from Scotland. And again, the gap's there, just enough, and played with soft hands as well.
It's just really good game awareness again from Matt Cross. It's a good ball from Viv Kingma, and Matt Cross has the awareness to just manipulate his bat face, find that little gap, that little pocket of space, and dash through for a single. Spoke about the energy he brings, and without doing anything too dramatic, he's moved on to 48 from 41 deliveries.
He said he was busy when he came out, and that's exactly what he's been. Very busy.
Big swing and a miss from George Monsey. He's eyeing up that mid-wicket area.
Yeah, they've kind of effortlessly done this. Big step outside the off stump. But you haven't really thought, oh, okay, now's when they're going to go. Because it sort of felt like they've been going whenever they've needed to. Oh, gets underneath this one, but just a couple of bounces. Didn't really get all of it. I think it almost toe-ended it. That's another over where the runs came easily. 8 runs coming from Vivian Kingma's 7th over. Hands on hips, the old double teapot, a sign that things are not going right. They're going right for Scotland after 41 overs. They're 261 for 4.
Yeah, there's lots of shrugging of shoulders out there from the men in orange. Scotland have just got away from them a bit. They've got a brilliant platform now for the final 9 overs. You could see the way George Monsey was walking across his stumps to Kingma. He's really looking to target that leg side and push on. Like you said, Mel, the batting that's to come, Michael Lisk, the way Mark Watt's been hitting them as well. It's going to be all-out attack, you would suspect, from here.
Don't forget, Safian Sharif. Boy, oh boy, he played one of the most belligerent innings we've seen here. Gets down for the slog sweep. And that is another boundary, and it brings up the 100-run partnership for George Monsey and Matt Cross. They've played brilliantly together.
Yeah, Monsey walking across his stumps again, accessing the leg side. He just flicks his wrists to get it behind square and beat the fielder. It's brilliant batting. And he goes again. That's absolutely massive from George Monsey, hitting against the breeze. It's another 6. Met with warm applause here at Fort Hill. He just keeps going and going and going.
Well, we wondered when they might really drop the hammer. They're doing it now. And again, oh my goodness, this is the biggest of the lot that has gone miles into the air, outside the ground. George Monsey on an absolute tear here today at Fort Hill.
He's loving life out there, isn't he? That is absolutely enormous from George Monsey. He's not fussed by this breeze pushing across Fort Hill. He moves to 145 from 123 balls.
Wow. My goodness. We'll have a little bit of a breath here. While someone tries to find that ball. But George Monsey has played his part. Here's a look at that partnership now. 115 coming from just 71 balls. And you look at George Monsey's figures there. 61 of just 37. He has put his foot on the accelerator big time.
He took a liking to Roelof van der Merwe earlier in the day, and he's really going after him again here. Wonder what van der Merwe is going to do to counter it, because Monsey's going to keep going, you'd imagine.
म लसुन केलाइरहेको छु है काली
And then you see him just dig a ball out for a leisurely single. Just up and down those gears so fluidly.
Yeah, he's done the hard bit, hasn't he, in this over? I think he did look to go again, but it was just that Yorker length couldn't get underneath it, and he's good enough and intelligent enough to recognise that, and like you say, just work a single.
Oh, I'll get that one easily. There's just not really been any pressure off them since that period after sort of the first 7 overs when they were able to put the brakes on. Aryan Duck came into bowl. They were using spin for the first time. But that little period was weathered, particularly by Monsey. And that is the only time you felt there's been any pressure on Scotland. Oh, there's a little bit. There's a little bit of a pushback from Van der Merwe, but that over absolutely belongs to George Monsey. 18 runs coming from it. And after 42 overs, Scotland 279 for 4. Oh, that's just a little deft touch from Matt Cross. And you can hear the applause ringing around because that has brought up his half century. It hasn't all been about George Monsey today. Matt Cross has played his part too. And he has played it to perfection in support of George Monsey out there. Just 43 balls. Stand-in skipper leading from the front.
Yeah, his 11th 50 in ODI cricket, and he's batted superbly, Matt Cross. He was put down on 31.
Well, you know where George Monsey wanted to send that. He's going to have another go at it, though, because it's been called a wide.
George Monsey kind of looked at the umpire as if to say, is that not a wide? Then the wide call came, and I don't think Viv Kingma particularly agrees. It's a lot of frustration out there for the Netherlands, but yeah, I think he thought that was inside the wide line. We spoke about Roelof van der Merwe ticking. Kingma is as well. So Monsey just adjusts the grip on his bat. Again, though, he was eyeing up that mid-wicket region, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's just so good. He uses all of the crease whenever he can, and he's got so many scoring options around the ground. When he is in form, he must be the devil to bowl to because he's got so many options. And I think George Monsey was suggesting that maybe he should get another wide call there.
And I think King was telling him absolutely no chance. It's a little bit of back and forth out there.
Oh, they're all taking a pounding at the moment. See, maybe Duck warming up there. Might see him come back in. Full delivery, and that has played so well. I'll only get 2.
It's really well bowled, actually, from Viv Kingma. right in the block hole, saw Monsey walking across his stump, so went with him, went a bit wider.
The problem is you're bowling a really good wide Yorker and it's still going for 2 runs.
Yeah.
And that's been the problem for Netherlands today. It's just when he is on, he is so good, George Monsey. Leading run scorer in this tournament.
Oh, he wants a wide again, George Monsey doesn't get it. I think the fact that he's walking across his stumps isn't helping his case. And maybe that's what Viv Kingma was saying earlier in the over. It's a bit of a wry smile there on the Dutch bowler's face.
Yeah, of course, that was an amendment to the laws of the game, taking into consideration the movement of the batter when the umpire is calling wide. And what? Go so far. Umpire. The umpires have said, no, that's that time.
Yeah, a bit of cat and mouse out there, isn't there? It's good to see. It's been quite a good over despite those wides, though, from Viv Kingma.
Well, they're the right sort of wides, if that makes sense. There's a reason for them. The margin for error is very small. You can see what he's trying to do. And he's going to have to do it again. He's trying to bowl dry outside the off stump. Stop Monsey from scoring.
Well, he is so strong off his pads and off his legs, and he targets that leg side so often that it's maybe strange that they haven't tried this sooner. Again, Monsey looks to the umpire. This time doesn't get the answer he's looking for. It's really well bowled, though, from Viv Kingma. He's bowling to his plan, and that time he got it spot on.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a thankless task, I think, for everyone bowling to George Monsey, but it just feels a bit flat today from the Netherlands. And he goes up and over on the offside, just going to be the single. And that is the end of the over. Gives us time to look after 43 overs at these bowling figures. And, well, George, it's apart from Arian Dutt, it's been tough going for all of them.
Yeah, Michael Levitt bowled well for his 2 for 41. But yeah, it's only been Michael Levitt and Ian Dutt that have been able to have any sort of control over the run scoring. Dutt in particular was fantastic coming into the game quite early. And I think he's going to come back here, just as Scott Edwards looks for that element of control. Yeah, the other economy rates through there. Roloff van der Merwe, your experienced campaigner, going at over 8.5 and over. It's, yeah, Paul van Meekeren as well, a guy Scott Edwards would turn to. They just haven't been able to stem the flow of runs. And with 7 overs to go, Scotland will be looking to push that run rate up towards 7, 8 and over for the whole innings. And yeah, they'll have that 350 marker in mind, you'd think.
Oh, they certainly will. Only 4 wickets down. And there's an appeal. Umpire not interested. Let's have another look at this one.
Really well bowled. Sharp turn and bounce.
Yeah, it was. I'll just get this single. Arian Dutt has head off to get that ball to prevent the single, but he can't prevent it. And it brings up a mighty 150 for George Monsey. He has been Monsey the Magnificent today. He really has. He's controlled this whole innings. He's had the ball on a string. And what a wonderful moment that is for the Scotland opener.
Yes, he's been superb. 12 fours, 7 sixes, and he's made a big score, which has maybe been a criticism of in the past. He's capable of these explosive starts, but he's gone on.
Oh, that one is straight up in the air. Should be taken, but it's not. It was a very difficult chance. Hard to tell. Did he actually get there? That's the top edge from Matt Cross. I've seen him do that a couple of times.
Is it Viv Kingma on the stretch?
Oh, just out of reach.
Tough chance. I think Matt Cross again thought he was gone. He looked straight to the heavens in frustration as he hit that.
It's been a day of frustration for Netherlands. Nothing going their way. Here's the reverse. It's like hopping on a bike and going for a ride for George Monsey. He just plays that shot so easily. It's usually a banker for a lot of runs. A real hustle on for the single and put the pressure on the captain. One captain to another.
It's been another really good over, though, from Iyendup. Just the 4 singles from it. It's extracted a lot of turn and bounce from this dry Fort Hill wicket. Can he close out the over?
Well, he goes down the ground. He can't close out the over because George Monsey has helped himself to another 6. My goodness, has he been outstanding today. Imperious stuff from Monsey. And in the end, the over goes for 10.
I'm not even sure he's got all of this. Uses his crease again towards the bottom of the bat. Matt Cross knew the moment he hit it, though, so that suggests he maybe did get all of it. Matt Cross applauding from the moment it hit the bat. Didn't need to look. 6 down the ground. And after 44 overs, Scotland are 296 for 4. What a platform they've got.
This is a huge platform. Still 6 overs to go. And boy, oh boy, we're talking about northward of 250. I don't want to put any limit on it at the moment. You don't know what they could get to, but this is magnificent stuff from Scotland. It really is, led by George Monsey. Fine support by Matt Cross, who whips this one away. And they're going to get 2. Then another thing we should mention as well is just been the wonderful communication between this pair, the running between the wickets. It's just been a really well-balanced partnership.
It'd be easy there for George Monsey to just cruise through for 1, but he's still piling the pressure on the fielders, running really hard. He's been out there for, over 44 overs now. And he still looks as fit as a fiddle.
It's in.
Oh,
There's no complaints about that wide.
There's no complaints about that wide, yes. No question. Oh, it's been a tough day so far in the Broughty Ferry sunshine for the Netherlands bowlers. Bringing Kingma back in the side after being left out for a couple of games. Again, every time Matt Cross goes aerial, it bounces short.
It was a lovely shot for 1.
It was a lovely
nearly
shot
skipped
for 1.
over. Is it Noah Cross out there? It nearly skipped over his head. Such was the speed the ball was going at. Just a single.
And that single brings up the 300 for Scotland. 300, just 4 wickets down, and they've still got 5.4 overs remaining. Oh, he has got every single piece of that and more. More vintage Monsey. No one can stop him today.
This is brutal hitting now. I mean, just walks across his stumps again, accesses that leg side. And I mean, he's taken that from, that's nearly the wide line on the offside. And he's nailed it over, what, backward square leg? It's incredible how he accesses some parts of the ground. It really is.
Well, it is his day today, his game. He has the ball on a string. And so that is well bowled by Kingma. That's what he's been trying to do, just dry up by bowling outside the off stump. But when you see when Monsey is able to use the crease the way he does, I mean, this has just been absolutely brilliant from Monsey today. Oh, that ball goes inside out, but again, it falls safely. Oh, that was possibly the first real wobble since he was dropped on 73. But now, and he's got himself into this position, it's just another run.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see it again, but it looked as though the fielder going back from in the ring could have maybe got to that, but almost left it to the fielder coming in from the boundary. They seem to almost leave it to each other, and it ended up just dropping into open field. Yeah, he just stops.
Oh, yeah, that's, I mean, you want to see fielders running hard, don't you, for that? Oh, powered away. My goodness. Matt Cross says, well, George Monsey, you're not going to have it all your own way. I've got some of these in me as well. This is brutal now. And Vivian Kingma's over. It's another expensive one.
I mean, that's a freebie. Just a low full toss outside off stump. Only one fielder out. And Matt Cross is seeing it far too well to miss out.
Well, they just, you can see there, Kingma can't quite believe it. They have been really put under the pump. Every way that Scott Edwards has turned, apart from this man here, Levitt's done pretty well. Dutt has been the one to put the brakes on at times, but everywhere else, well, they've just taken to them.
They look like a side that have lost 4 on the spin.
They really do. Well, they'll have to be careful here today. They need a good showing with the bat. If anything, you feel like it's the batting that's been their issue. So if they're looking down the barrel of a monster score. So this contest now intriguing. Oh, he just leans back and laces it away. Easy single. And that is the beauty of what we've seen George Monsey do today. There's been nothing frenzied about it. He hasn't over-attacked. He's just played a brilliant innings up and down those gears, picked his moments, picked his bowlers, picked his spot in the ground. And boy, has it been something to watch. Very special innings today here from Monsey. Oh, that one's gone up, and that will be out. Matt Cross finally goes aerial one too many times, and Max O'Dowd makes sure of it. It's been a long time coming. The wicket does finally come, but well battered by Matt Cross, skipper today. He departs with 59 of 49, and the Netherlands finally have their 5th wicket.
Yeah, he just goes to the longest part of the ground. It's a really good catch from Max O'Dowd out there at long on. Yeah, I think Matt Cross caught that pretty nicely, but yeah, just hitting to the long boundary. And a little bit of respite for the Netherlands as the stand-in captain has to go.
It's a fine half century, though, from Matt Cross today. It was a brilliant partnership between the two, working in tandem. And hold on to your hats, because as Matt Cross leaves, that brings a certain Michael Lisk onto the field. Now, Monsey and Lisk together, you would say, are the most powerful duo in the Scottish lineup. Lisk, of course, he was having a poor run of form, but in his last innings, he played an absolute blinder here against Nepal. 96 not out. Player of the match in that 96 came off just 62 balls. So Aryan Dutt from the pavilion end. Can he put some brakes on this? If he can get Lisk early, it might just slow things down. But Lisk is off the mark straight away in exactly the right manner. A single down the ground. It's where he'll play most of his shots, and it gets Monsey back on strike.
He's been the pick of the bowlers, and he's bowled superbly in quite difficult circumstances, taking the 2 wickets, but also stemming the flow of runs. Yeah, like you say, if you can just nip out 1 or 2 more and keep Scotland's total down.
Oh, there's the switch, and that should be out. Oh no, it's been dropped. Can you believe it? Viv Kingma. Oh, have given him another life. He might be on 165, now 167. But it really has been a problem today. The 4th drop by the Netherlands.
It's about as straightforward as they come. He hardly even gets a hand on it.
And he replies as well by going the other way.
Oh, and it's just tipped over the bar for 6. A really good effort on the boundary. But the ball follows him over. And it's 6 more for George Monsey. He moves on to 173. I suppose technically this goes down as another drop.
Well, let's take another look at that. It was out of my eye line. Oh, can you call that a drop, or is it a wonderful save by Levitt?
It would feel incredibly harsh to call that a drop. I think he does well to even get a hand on it. But yeah, I mean, the one before from Viv Kingma, it's unforgivable at this level, really.
I think it just shows, it feels like their minds are just shot a little bit. They've been stunned. It's brilliant fielding by Levitt.
It's a great effort.
And if he just managed to get it back in, we'd be raving about that. It really is a wonderful effort. But he does get the 6 anyway.
This is interesting. Scott Edwards going back to Zach Lyon cachet.
Well, where does he turn? It doesn't matter where he turns today. Scott Edwards, captain. Four overs. Well, just what can they get to? And are we looking at a double century for George Monsey? You would not put it past him. Such has been his dominance, complete dominance today. Of just 141 runs. Well, he goes for another big sweep, and that boundary brings up the highest ever one-day international innings for Scotland. George Monsey passes Callum McLeod, and he stands at the top of the table today. What a moment that is, and what an innings it's been. What a way to get there.
Yeah, what a player. He just keeps going, doesn't he? And he's got his eyes set on another landmark coming up, I think. Goes again. Straight to the fielder this time. Just be a single.
How many times have we seen him do that? Just happily get the boundary score, then when he feels job done, go to the other end. Confidence. He knows he's got excellent partners at the other end. It's just been absolutely sensational.
It's the manipulation of his crease that's been really impressive to me. Just the way he can access his scoring areas by moving around. It's something very few players can do.
We've been treated to something really special here today in Fort Hill. And Lisk, well, he doesn't feel he needs to pull out the power shots. He's quite happy to just turn it over to George Monsey. Michael Lisk, he was feeling so low on confidence. He'd been bowling well, that he'd been struggling with the bat, felt he couldn't buy a run, and even just the way he's come out and got these singles. He's looked assured.
That was a crowd catch. I think it's a bump ball.
Yeah. But yeah, even Lisk coming out in this situation.
Goes again, George Monsey. Belted down the ground. 4 more. It's amazing hitting. He's seeing it so big out there. Nobody move. 4 more. Nobody move.
Well, George Monsey now has the highest score in ICC Men's Cricket World Cup League 2 history. 2nd edition of the tournament. And this is him standing at the top. Only 4 scores of 150 or more. Milind Kumar is another one. He got 155 against the UAE. Smit Patel against Canada. Brandon McMullen himself, 151 against USA. But above them all, it's that man there. Didn't get that one away. But he now stands alone on 183. And you just don't see anyone stopping him. 3 overs to go. He's got the balls to get there.
They were.
He's got the deliveries to got the time.
We knew what you meant. Oh, and Michael Lisk gets in on the act. That's massive. He gets under a low full toss from Ian Dutt, who's given very little away with the ball. And Michael Lisk's seen enough of George Monsey belting sixes and says, it's my turn.
Well, I just said that even the way he walked out today off the back of that innings, he looked more confident straight away. And that is his beloved part of the ground. He will send the ball there all day if you give him the opportunity. Goes again. Oh, and it's almost taken on the rope. Max O'Dowd can't believe it. It was flat. It's ended up a 6. Well, he just couldn't keep in and hold his footing. I'll have another look here. He did well to get around, but realised he was going out and couldn't flick the ball up high enough in the air. Back live now. And that's a wide everything. The wheels have just come off today for the Netherlands, but they've come off because of the pressure they've been put under. Michael Lisk, 14 off 4 balls. You look at Monsey out there approaching 200. Firmly struck by Lisk, but this time it'll just be a single. Max O'Dowd, he was furious with himself there, but it was by no means easy because that ball was travelling so fast.
No, there's been some catches that they've put down today, the Netherlands, that they'll be furious with themselves for, but there was one from Michael Levitt in the previous over, and then that one there that were really tough.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone. The ball's gone. He can't stop scoring runs. He's on his way. He's got 200 in his sights as he George Monsey has been an absolute beast at Fort Hill today.
It's his 11th six. And it's that trademark slog sweep again, just using his crease to free his arms. And again, it's so good. Nobody moves. 6 more. George Monsey moves on to 189 from 147 balls.
Well, this is something very special we are seeing today. And then just gently carves it away. I mean, it's just been astonishing. And Arian Dutt, who has bowled really so well today, was the pick of the bowler who was going about 3.5 and over. All of that has come undone. There's no one exempt. No one is safe. Especially not now. Not when Michael Lisk is there. O'Dowd can do nothing about that. And goodness gracious me, this is a real beating. Lisk is in beast mode. Monsey is in beast mode. And Scotland's bowlers are feeling the heat.
Yeah, 3 sixes from his first 6 deliveries. How are you seeing him, Michael Lisk? Pretty well from the looks of it. 27 runs off Ian Dutt's final over. And yeah, Scotland are in total control here at Fort Hill.
Well, we talked about reaching 350. They've still got 2 overs left. They're at 359. They were 170 at the 30 over mark. So in 18 overs, I can't do the maths. They've scored a lot of runs.
189.
Thank you. Get the calculator out. And just carves that one down to long on. And moves him into the 190s. 191. Can he bring it up? That would really cap off a magnificent day. And what can Scotland get to?
You wondered if Michael Lisk might just come out and give George Monsey the strike. It's not really been that, has it?
Well, he was 1 stroke away from getting his 100 when Mark Watt walked to the crease against Nepal. Oh, he goes for the big one. You know exactly where he was going. So he was on, I think, 96, not out. Last over, Mark Watt comes out and he hits his first 3 balls for 6. And actually, and then got a single. So Michael Lisk had 1 ball to try and get his century, couldn't get it away. But I asked him afterwards what he said, and he said, when he first came out, he said to him, just give me the strike. But then once he started, he'd hit the first 6. He went, I'll just keep going. What a team, man. Lovely stuff.
You wonder whether he was thinking the same thing. I think if he'd have connected with the second ball of the over, that might have been out of Broughty Ferry. He swung that hard at it.
He sure did. But it does bring George Monsey onto strike. There are 9 balls remaining in this innings. He is 9 runs short of a double century. No matter whether he gets there or not, it has been an incredible effort from him. What a brilliant innings it's been. Oh, Vivian Kingma screams with frustration and delight because he finally has his man. He won't be getting the 200, George Monsey. He departs for 191. Undoubtedly disappointed not to get the double, but what an innings it has been. He looks weary. He's worked hard. And isn't that celebrated for all the right reasons? He's been a wonderful servant of Scotland cricket. And he stands alone with the best innings, the highest innings ever recorded by a Scotland player in ODIs, and also a highest score in the ICC Cricket World Cup League 2. Wonderful stuff from Monsey.
Yeah, all his teammates and everyone here at Fort Hill rises to George Monsey. It's been an absolute privilege to witness him bat today. He's been bowled round his legs by Viv Kingma, who's kept his calm amid the chaos. I don't think many people realised it was out to start with. But yeah, Monsey has to trudge off for one of the finest innings you'll ever see. And Mark Watt joins Michael Lisk in the middle.
Well, can they at least curtail these last few overs? It's not going to be easy. As I said, Mark Watt walked to the crease and hit 3 sixes a couple of days ago. And he gets off strike first up. Now, Michael Lisk, 22 off 8. And it just shows what one good innings can do to turn things around, because he's been walking out in the middle and he's looked so streaky. It's been a bit scratchy and he's just looked so short of confidence. He's another player who wears his heart on his sleeve. Kingma finally getting that. It's been a mixed day for him, as it has been for everyone. All in all, I'd be very disappointed. Bowls wide of off stump, and Lisk just able to slap it down to deep point. I'll take the single.
I know he's gone for 71 off his 10 overs, but I've been quite impressed by Viv Kingma on his return to the side. Scotland with 6 balls left to 363 for 6. But yeah, there's some frustration over some wide calls, but amid all the carnage, he's actually stuck to a plan, delivered it, and there's been his teammates who have been flying around the park in the past few overs, and he's kept it together quite well.
There have been a lot of, I think it's one of those days where you have to say, look, take your hat off and realise that we've just seen an incredibly special innings. The drop catches are probably the biggest issue, but there have been periods where Arian Dutter's bowled well and you look at his figures and you think he's been belted all over the place. Well, that came late after Monsey was well and truly set and on his way. And I guess you do just have to at times say, wow, a lot of the bowlers have had catches dropped off them. We've seen 4 catches dropped today. Monsey dropped twice on his way.
Yeah, I mean, that first drop has cost the Netherlands 118 runs.
Yeah, very costly. It was dropped off the bowling of Levitt by Nidamanuru, and he was on 73. Well, Lisk only wants to go one way. Okay, he's got the last over now. How many runs can he get in 5 balls? Van Meekeren knows he's going to come after him. And, well, they're going to have a very good team talk here at the lunch break, Netherlands, because their batting has not been full of confidence. I think he meant to play that one much squarer, but it's enough to get another single. Just the luxury of having Lisk and a Watt come in at this point. I bet you this pair will have loved seeing those puffs of dust out there in the middle. They'll have their turn soon with ball in hand. And with Netherlands having very little option but to attack, I think they'll fancy their chances.
Yeah, especially with the fragility that we've seen in this Dutch batting lineup.
Well, didn't really time that one.
It's been good from Paul Van Meekeren in this final over.
Yeah, it's been a thing that teams across this Cricket World Cup lead to. Sometimes struggled with their death bowling options and having specialist death bowlers. Though we've seen some contenders emerge. It's been good so far from Van Meekeren. Really good stuff from Van Meeker, and he's just put the brakes on in this final over. And important, because otherwise they'd be staring at 380 and going, how do we get this? And even where it is at 365, it's a daunting task. But if Max O'Dowd gets going, we won't give this away at all. If Max O'Dowd gets going, he has been right up there amongst the runs in this Cricket World Cup League too. Oh, well, that was bizarre. Michael Lisk went to play a shot. It was like he stopped in the middle of it and has ended up playing one of the most extraordinary shots you'll see.
An upward periscope from Michael Lisk there.
Okay.
That's bizarre.
Has he hit himself on the back of the head?
I don't think he knew that he was about to hit that. I think he was trying to leave it for a wide. It's remarkable.
I do. I think he might have clocked himself on the back of the helmet, which would be really impressive.
One ball to go in Scotland's innings. Can they finish with a flourish?
Well, this time he goes through with the overhead shot. I'll pick up 2 runs. And, well, that completes an extraordinary innings from Scotland. They finish on 369. Whether it was a run out or not wouldn't have mattered, but Lisk was well home. But it has been absolutely brilliant from Scotland, led all the way by a magnificence of George